Chuck Loaf, 1200 Films Podcast. All horror, all the time. Thank you very much for everyone who watched my best and worst horror films of 2021. My most successful video ever. 3,200 views. And they didn't come in all at once. They've come throughout the week. Just more and more people watched. It was pretty impressive. I checked in on it at 2 in the morning yesterday, and it says you currently have 8 people watching this video right now. Hi, kitty. What are you doing? Shut up for a minute. And that was pretty awesome. And we got a couple new subscribers, too, so welcome. But let's get going on the batch that I watched during my COVID break, my COVID vacation. Rating scale, of course, on the bottom. Dumpster fire, filthy, dirty, rotten garbage. And then can't quite recommend. Okay, if desperate, put it on the watch list. Put it on top of the watch list. 1, 2, 3, let's go. All of these are from 2021. First one, Honeydew. Critic rating 67, audience score 38. If you watch the best of and worst of, you know this made my worst of list. My 5 worst films of the year was one of them was Honeydew, starring the son of Steven Spielberg, Sawyer Spielberg, who apparently doesn't have any taste in choosing films. He just takes whatever. This is such a ho humdrum, nothing happening, paint by numbers horror film. This couple finds these old people. Nothing happens. Definitely dumpster fire garbage. Just trust me on this. Next one, Meander. Critic rating 75%, audience score 86. This was decent. So this chick gets abducted by this, to what we believe to be a serial killer, or a deranged killer, or whatever. And, kitty, please, give me a minute. So, and she gets put in this, it kind of reminded me of Cube. Remember that horror film? Where the people are in the cube and they got to go in the right place or else they die. This was kind of like that, except it's really like a pipe, more or less, like a long series of pipes, and it's very claustrophobic. And this actress, her elbows must have been damaged for life. All she does is crawling around on her elbows, just crawling around. Oh, can't go that way. You got to go this way. Crawl around on those elbows. I feel bad for her. She earned it. She earned this paycheck. And some of the traps were interesting, and some of the scenarios was okay. Some of it was like, okay, it's getting kind of long. The movie went a little bit long, but still well made, well put together. Interesting twist on, traps. So for that, I would say put it on the watch list. Check it out. Good film. Next one, The Advent Calendar. Appropriate for Christmas viewing. Critic rating 81%, audience score 58. This is a French film. The voices were dubbed. If that bothers you, don't watch this. It usually bothers me for about 5 minutes, and then I get used to it. But this one, this woman, her female friend, steals a old-fashioned wooden antique, busted up advent calendar and gives it to her friend as a gift. That's what I want. I want my friends to give me busted up, stolen wooden antiques. But she plays along and opens those little doors one day at a time, and there's little pieces of chocolate, but on the chocolates there's a little message, and you got to follow the message. If you don't follow along and do what the thing tells you to do, then bad things happen. And it gets kind of interesting. And there's a creature that looks like Silent Hill that gets a little bit more excited with each door you open. Put it on the watch list. Definitely worth a view. Almost made my honorable mentions, but not quite. Next one, Death Valley, critic rating 63%, and a phenomenal, never seen before audience score of 0. Not X. It does not qualifies for a rating, and it's 0. Not one person, besides those worthless critics, could find anything positive about this movie, and deservingly so. This also made my worst of list for 2021. First 5 minutes, great. There's this creature in the subterranean tunnels there, and stuff's going on, but then they got to get down there, and there's a lot of shoot 'em up, bang 'em up, cheesy 90s direct-to-video, cheap special effects, and it's so bad. So bad, and it drags on forever. Such filth. Dumpster fire garbage. Don't waste your time on this one. Or fast forward the first 45 minutes. Next one, Till Death. Critic rating 89%. Audience score 56. Stars Megan Fox, who gets caught up with the wrong people, and she gets handcuffed to her dead husband. And she's got to figure her way out of this situation before they come back to kill her. Another, I'm a damsel in distress, but I'm going to fight my way back and beat up all you dirty men. Seen a lot of these lately. This is nothing special. Another paint by numbers. But it's got Megan Fox in it. Oh, well. Rinse and repeat. That's what I say. Can't quite recommend this one. Next one, Caveat. Audience score, critic rating 83, audience score 46. This was fine. Very amazingly low budget, but with what they had, they did pretty good. So this guy convinces this other guy, his quasi-friend, I guess, who's down on his luck, to go basically babysit his younger autistic sister who lives on an island, on a tiny little island by herself in this little dilapidated house. And while you're babysitting the sister in her dilapidated little house, you have to be hooked up with a strap and chain so you cannot leave. What? I'd say no. Not enough money could get me to agree to that situation. And of course, there's hauntings and weird things going on. And the girl takes this bunny who's not battery operated, but he's like a diseased looking gray bunny who plays the drums. And when the ghost is near, it gets charged, and that's when the thing starts playing the drums. So when it's playing the drums, you know things are about to get bad. Yes, well-made little film here. Well-made ghost story, I guess. Put it on the watch list. Why not? Next one. My Heart Can't Beat Unless You Tell It To. Critic rating 98%. Audience score 56. Again, this is another one that made my worst of, because this movie is so slow. 3 siblings, one is a vampire, so the other 2 go out and kill these less than desirables, homeless peoples, drug addicts, bring it back to get their blood out of them, and so they can give their little brother a milkshake, bloody milkshake, so he can get out of bed and act quasi-normal. He's the vampire brother can barely lift his arms. He's so weak. He's so depressing. Even after he eats, he still can barely function in day-to-day life. He's like, why bother? Just dump him off at a home somewhere. Let them figure it out. That's not very nice, Chuckleoff. You don't have a heart. Oh, please. I'm not gonna go out and kill human beings just so my deadbeat vampire brother can squeak by a living. No. Sorry. Dumpster fire garbage. It got a little bit interesting at the end, but jeez. What a slow-going journey this was. Yeah, moving on. Oh, is it time for our main event yet? Yes, it is. Okay, time for our feature review of The Trip.
Skulle du stryka mig? Vad har du för idiotiskt motiv till att vilja mörda mig?
Jag startar med att du är en lögnaktig jävla utroligare.
The Trip. Critic rating 91%, audience score 68. This Norwegian film, which you can find on Netflix, which also has dubbed voices, was pretty impressive. Made my top 10 of the year, deservingly so. The two lead actors, this husband and wife, who hate each other, decide to go on a romantic getaway so they can both assassinate each other, though it's a secret, which eventually becomes obvious. And as they're trying to kill each other, they discover there's 3 escaped criminals hiding in their crawl space in the attic. And things get weirder from there. And then the dad of the husband, he figures out something's wrong here, because I guess he owns the house, the grandpa. So he decides to leave his retirement home and go check on his house. And the grandpa's amazing. He's a hilarious character. You should have put that character in the amusement park. That might have made that movie watchable. But anyway, The Trip has a few more twists and turns as it gets going, but definitely worth a viewing. Check it out. Put it on top of the watch list. On the next one, we got Blood Red Sky. We got Godzilla vs. Kong. We got the new Jake Gyllenhaal movie called The Guilty. We got Shadow in the Cloud. We got the 3 Fear Street movies, which can be found on Netflix. They put out all 3 in 1 year. And one called Classic Horror Story, which is also another foreign film with dub voices. But we'll see how they are. We'll check it out when we check it out. Until next time.